the same
Because
time.
I'm just gonna retweet it, I guess.
Yeah. Hello everyone. How are you? I saw some people's names. Let's see. What's your Twitter handle? Why is it the
Ooh.
end of the world when
Tick.
Okay. Hey Nick, I saw you earlier. Hey Ado Plato. And everyone else who's here who I can't see. I have to note tweet, by the way. Yeah. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Should be on starting soon. Luckily, nothing was there.
You can do it, I'm sure.
I'm doing great right now. This is high level participation. How I'm definitely not thinking about how many frames my hey, thanks for the follow, little I don't know how to say that name.
Little TT 914.
See, I
Oh
didn't
god.
say it.
It's way too early in the morning for this.
Thank you. At least somebody knows. It's not just me, and it's not just in my head. Not like all the voices. Um
Oh, you managed to tweet. Congrats.
Thanks. My internet, for people who don't know, my internet is tanking right now. Like, I can upload just fine. I can upload actually really well. I can't download to save my life. So
uh,
great.
well, it depends what you want in life, if you're more
Yeah.
of an uploader or a downloader.
Really? Is that how you're gonna justify this?
I don't know. I'm trying to find some philosophy in your problems.
What philosophy? Where we're going.
Hey, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I
You
don't have
know,
to justify myself.
you know what? You know what? Sure. I can't
Is
I
that
can't
how you
even
want to take it? All right, all right.
honestly, at this point, I feel like if I try to fight you, I'll lose. So here we are.
Oh, there's another
Yeah.
Frenchie.
Fuck, oh, okay. This is
Congrats
me.
on
Yeah.
being here at this ungodly forsaken hour.
Yeah. I'm also supposed to be asleep, Mango. Don't worry about it. We all live this nightmare. Hey, geek boy, welcome. The thing is, though, I mean, why are we supposed to be asleep? What else are we doing with our lives?
Well, I'm trying, call it denial if you want, but I'm trying to keep a schedule to make it kind of look like the
Okay,
world isn't ending right
so
now.
okay, so denial, cool. I'm happy you at
Yeah,
least admitted it. It takes a lot.
yeah.
It takes a lot to admit the truth.
It's the first step,
Yeah,
of
the first.
mourning this life we used to have.
The first step. Oh God.
So yeah.
Yeah. I wonder
Well,
what.
tomorrow is Sunday. It's like it's normal to sleep in, so it's still
Yeah.
okay.
No one's gonna. It's not that it's normal. It's that nobody judges you for sleeping in on a Sunday. That's
Well,
it.
nobody judges you for sleeping during a quarantine where you are like quarantine on your own. So,
Oh yeah, fair enough. Okay, I was gonna be like, nobody judges you. I see that you live alone, my friend.
well, I work from home, so if I'm not on Skype at like
Mhm,
maximum 10 in the morning, people are gonna try to call me to say, "Hey."
fair enough.
Uh,
Oh, hey, cat wave done. Russia? Oh, that's nice. It's a new country to the list. Russia is actually a country that is never shown up on the YouTube channel statistics.
really?
So yeah, so like I'm happy. I don't attract many Russians.
Welcome.
Uh, what? How much Russian do I know? Um, if I'm very afraid of
uh,
saying anything because I'm pretty sure all I know is swear words. So like
I
I say,
I think I know one
what?
one person who's Russian, but
All the Russian people I know, all the quote unquote Russian people I know are from Ukraine. It's been very,
Okay.
and they do not like it when some random guy just runs around going, you're Russian, I see.
Yeah, I can see why.
Hey, hey, Outside Rice, thanks for joining us in Spain. How's Spain, by the way? How are you guys? How are you guys there?
Mm,
They're living more terrifying life than we are.
yeah, but
So
it's getting slightly better.
I mean, is anything really getting better in Spain? It's Spain.
Well, I've got a friend who lives in Madrid, and he's a doctor actually.
Oh,
So I think it's getting slightly better, but yeah.
I like how the only thing I know about Spain is football based, and I don't even like football.
You've never been in Spain?
No.
Ah,
All the Spanish, even all the Spanish I even know as a joke, is all from
it's football. It's football
that.
related.
No, it's Latin American, and it's not related to anything at all. I don't know anything about real Spain, the real Spanish people, but I know
You're
lots
not
about
even
Latin
that
America.
far.
I know,
It's
right?
it's not
I
as if
just
you were in the
in the
United States
US,
or
yeah.
something.
I
Yeah.
don't I don't like Spain. Don't worry about it. I mean, that's a lie. I love Spain. It's
You
so
don't know
amazing.
anything about Spain.
Shh, shh, stop telling them the truth.
You
It's such
just
a
did.
great country. We're kind of just. I'm sure that loves being part of Portugal. It's such a
Mm.
great. Hey, Joaquin.
No. You got a
Hey,
new follow and you didn't
yeah.
even say like, hey, thanks.
I'm so impatient. Hey,
I'm
thanks,
trying to help you
Alex.
do your job. That's all.
Thanks,
That's
Alex. Thanks, Hibernator. Hey, Jay. What's good? Joaquin, how you doing? I got a couple more people. We have lots of structure today. It's gonna be fun. We're just kind of stalling for time until Cash shows up. I think she's been kidnapped by bears. I'm not sure yet.
You said she was sleeping. I'm just setting her out
Shh,
because
shh,
I'm so
shh,
jealous. She's
shh.
gonna just like wake up like a flower and be so energetic compared to us.
Jeez. No. Hey, thanks for the follow, Kaiman. Maybe she traded for a gold cow earlier today. This is part of me stalling, by the way, because I haven't even gone to the podcast. People are like, "When is it gonna start?" It'll start when I do the intro line. Just let me get through this crap.
You've
Hey,
got an intro
Geppetta.
line.
Yeah, there's always an intro line. There's actually an intro line. You don't listen properly.
Yes, I do, but
Just caught you. You got
no,
caught.
no, but
No,
I
no.
guess your intro line comes up at like the
Like
one hour
nah, it
part.
comes up at the 10-minute mark. So by the time you
Yeah,
get there, you're just like,
right.
really? Really? We're starting now?
It's like I just like went to make myself some coffee at that point, so I'm not listening as closely, I guess.
You know, I don't even want to listen to what Basil said. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
but just while I'm still stalling for time. Um, so earlier today we were talking to somebody about if they would swap their kid for a golden cow, as in a cow that is made entirely of gold. So,
Well,
being a math teacher,
are they quarantined with their kids? Because that's
no, that kid's in
like
a different
they might
country.
want to. Oh, right, because they might want to sell them to get a normal co if they're quarantined with their kids. I guess
No, but
I
like
know a lot of people like that.
I'm like okay, so I went full math teacher, and I calculated the density of a cow because I
Yeah,
wanted to understand how much volume. Actually, I calculated the volume of a cow because I wanted to know how much volume there was in one cow.
and
Then
then
I
you
found
calculated how much free time you had to do that, and you got depressed, or
go away. So no need. There's no need for these call outs. It's the middle of the fucking night. So then I calculated then I got the density of gold. I found the weight of the gold, and then I found out how much it was. Guess how much it was? If you had a
I
cow
can't do
size.
that.
Just guess a number. Guess a big number, I guess.
I don't know, like a ton or
$1 ton? That's the amount of money it got.
no, but like
Just
you said,
guess how much
I was
money.
supposed to guess money. I thought it was
Hmm.
weight. Money. I have no idea. It's like a a trillion, a
Okay,
million.
no, okay,
But
not that much. More than that, but not as much as the trillion. It was
uh,
430 million.
wha-
Now, tell me you wouldn't sell your kid for $430 million.
no, no
This
good
is
parent would. Like you
what?
would regret it all your life, but you wouldn't tell your kids,
Okay, I'm gonna give
or
her a
you
quick.
would and get new ones with the millions you just got. You buy
Okay,
like golden kids.
I'm gonna give her a quick ping if she doesn't. If she's probably real tired though. Moving up and down. She's in a different time zone as well. I'm not
Well,
bullying the guest. The guest and I have a special relationship. That doesn't mean I'm bullying them. Jesus Christ. Tell them
well,
that I'm nice to you, or else.
well. Yeah, that's is sending me the plan for the podcast like 3 minutes before starting considered bullying, or is that
I've had that since like 7 this morning. And
really?
yeah, genuinely, I'm just
Yeah, like
okay, okay. I'm gonna assume Kaz is kind of busy.
hmm.
I say kind of busy, waking up. So I'm gonna move us forward so that we get through some stuff by the time she gets here. Hopefully, she gets here in a few minutes.
Well,
Uh,
we'll just summarize everything about the golden cow and
oh
stuff
my
like
golden cow, yeah.
that.
All right, I'm just switching to screen room. Unfortunately, still got Kaz there. She's gonna talk eventually, I hope. But
Hmm.
till then, let's have a little conversation. Hey, Marv. But
Hey,
before I get to you, I just want to do a quick introduction. Good evening, morning, afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Webcomics Hubcast, episode 35, with Marvin from Humor Me, the creator of Humor Me. Today we're going to be talking about comic making and how Marv's process is. Then we're going to move on to the comic contests, talk about some traditional industry random stuff, and then we're going to talk about adaptation. So hopefully you guys get to enjoy that. There's actually a structure this time. I hope you're proud of me. I did my best.
I am. And you kind of sound like a flight attendant, and it's pretty cool.
I'm Nen. Thank you very much for coming today. And with me is Marv. Say hi, Marvin.
Hi.
Yeah,
You were
great.
waiting for me to say hi, Marvin, weren't
Yeah,
you?
I was
Yeah.
actually waiting for you to say hi, Marvin. Thank you,
I
Marvin.
live to disappoint.
You only disappoint me. I love it. Marvin, can you tell me some stuff about you and your comic? Because I'm just gonna get there quick. Let's hit it. Let's go.
Okay, so I'm a French 2D animator who happens to draw comics in her free time. And I'm the creator of the comic Humor Me that you can find on Webtoon and Tapas.
Yeah, I saw
And
your animations. They were actually really good. She has Marv has an old YouTube channel, and I saw her animations. They're very fun.
on my YouTube channel?
Yeah, because the intro has an animation. The intro is
Oh,
an animation. Yeah,
oh yes, you're talking about the review channel I made with
that
a
one,
friend. Yeah.
that one that you've hidden away from
No, because
everyone else.
no, because I've got quite a bit of 2D animations on
Mm.
my Twitter account and
Uh,
Instagram.
oh,
So I
fair
thought you
enough.
were talking about that.
I suck at using social media. I'm 1,000 years old. Whenever I need to use the internet, I only know like 5 websites, and none of them are
So
Twitter or
so
Instagram.
when you're trying to do some research about your next guest, you just go to the library and try to, I
See,
don't know.
back in the day, I used to do that myself, but now I have a stooge, so I never have to do that myself. If my
And
stooge is
apparently it's
listening, I do appreciate you very much.
no one believes you anymore when you say that, you know that.
Because I called her a stooge. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
Marvel, I've been reading your comic for a while. If anyone hasn't read it, it's The Big Sad, the comic. That is what it is though.
Okay.
It's a comic about a girl pretending to be a boy. And that's not even a spoiler.
But
I
it's
don't
not
even
exactly accurate either. So
I
yeah,
mean, yeah,
keep
good
going, keep
point.
going.
But she's not pretending. But she does look like a boy, and I was
Yeah.
very convinced for so long. Um, Going to school on going to a really rich just the kids I hate teaching, the kids I hate being around, school, and just
And give
working
them
their ass
scholarship,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, or in scholarship, working their ass off, but can't be in a job because this is the 1980s and you can have a scholarship. The scholarship means you can't work. And taking care of her little brother, who is some kind of brain monster. He's no, he's not a monster, but he's too smart.
Bleh.
He's
I call him
disturbingly
the
smart.
vocabulary sponge.
Yeah, it's
Like
kind of.
it's yeah, it's just a vocabulary thing,
I,
isn't it?
I have one of those kids. I have one of those
Really?
kids. Yeah, literally
Well, good luck.
every time I'm teaching him, I think of I think of my of my little brother. Um, there's a lot of personality. There's a lot of heart. There's a lot of poverty. And there is the, let's be honest, like 250 pounds a month sounds like more money than it is. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say that's
Yeah,
and
no,
there's
that's not nearly enough.
and there's a lot of very strangely, there's a lot of joy. What is this
Mm,
wholesomeness in my terrifying poverty book? Explain yourself, Marvin.
it was supposed to be a feel good comic from the beginning. It was like I I want a story, like
Mhm.
uh, Kiki's Delivery Service, like from
Yeah,
Ghibli,
yeah.
and it's a movie that had a huge impact in me when I saw it in theater when it came out. I don't remember when, and I just like went out of the theater and I was like, so you can make a story without a villain, without like uh the normal structure, where you have to, I don't know, save the world or something. And like it was just a feel good story, and I was like, it was so pleasant to watch, and I want to write a story like that one day. So at first that's what was what humor me was supposed to be like, but then the drama came in,
The
and
drama.
the
Also,
drama.
I need people to understand the kind of character she has. Why are the kids such? Okay, I don't want to
Yeah.
like. I have to put money in the jar because I swear. But why are the
Mm.
kids such dicks? Like, why do they suck?
Well, not all of them do, but we don't see the
Ace,
nice ones.
I'm sorry. Listen, if I don't see the nice ones, they don't exist. Everyone's an asshole. So
Yeah,
explain
yeah.
my.
Well, it's part of the like when I started the thing that got me started on humor me was that I was frustrated that I couldn't relate to a female character in a lot of mainstream stories.
Yeah.
And I at that point I used to read like a lot of shoujo mangas and watch Korean dramas, and I was like, this is I hate this character, the main female character most of the time. And so I kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna try to write my own, because that way I can do whatever I want. And so I decided to use cliches and tropes from shoujo mangas and Korean dramas. And so that's mainly why she gets bullied at school and stuff like that, because it's kind of, I was like, I want to see what that kind of character would do in this kind of situation, you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm
But
on board
it's
with this. I'm on board with this.
no, but yeah. Sometimes it's really clumsy because it's hard to work with cliches without making them boring.
Wouldn't
But
call it
yeah.
clumsy. I would call it like it's. I mean, if it's clumsy, it's not visible because I
Yeah.
feel it feels more like the world is clumsy and not you. You know what I mean? You know, like if some writer was writing the entire world right now and they just started this pandemic, it doesn't feel like some writer was being a bit of a twat. It just feels like the world is just a bit upset. You know what I mean?
You did not do a good job.
You're
It's the
doing
stooge.
but you're doing it's great. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Considering that you've
Good.
been making that for a while now.
Yeah,
Because
like
I've been
5 years
yeah, I've been
almost.
reading it, I think, pretty much since like maybe a couple chapters in. And
Really?
I just don't talk about the things I read very often. But I have been reading it for a while. And then
Okay.
I realized I used to read and not look at authors' names. So when I finally
Yeah.
realized who your name was, like a few years ago, I think a year or two ago,
I thought
then
you were gonna say like 3 minutes before starting the
no, yeah,
podcast.
like a year or two ago, right? So I realized what your
Okay.
name is, and then I'm talking to my mod, And then he's like, "Oh, that sounds cool." And then a year later, he doesn't even contact you. It's just like a year before it can get to this moment.
I I don't know. He's still like, yeah, I've got this friend who has a podcast, and I could like get you in contact with him. And I was like, are you sure they even would like my story? And
Shh,
and he was
shh,
like,
shh,
yeah, I
shh.
think.
He is not. Don't listen to him when you need advice. He is bad at giving it. Anyway, no, but like
No, but
you've been making
yeah,
this what 5 years now,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
And
are you considering any new IP,
new what?
new intellectual property, new comic idea?
Oh, well, no, not at all.
Really?
But
Okay. Go on. Go on.
I surprised myself when I decided to take part in the Webtoon contest.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
So in a way, in a way, I've already made another comic, but it's not. It's not. Well, I will have to submit it to the contest for it to be online. But
So,
so
so at least you answered that question for me. So you did consider entering, and you have it. You're pretty much entering. What are you entering? Brain or heart?
hard, of course.
Heart, obviously, because you and your feel
Yeah,
good bull.
yeah. Like I
What
want
about
people to be like, "Ow,"
what?
you
Okay,
know?
if you had to make a brain comic, though, what would it be?
Well, when they said brain, I immediately, started thinking of Death Note, and I was like,
Really? Death
yeah,
Note is
because
brain.
for me, it's like one of the most mind-blowing stories I've ever read, and
Are
I'm
you
like,
serious? Okay, I'm wondering what you've read now because I'm very worried about you.
"What?
This is the
Why?"
anime. This is the anime that has like 5 scenes of people just shouting justice, and you think that that's mind blowing. Okay,
No,
go
no,
go.
no, because it's just like you keep reading and you're like, "Oh, this is so well thought out," and,
Mm,
"Oh, what would I do with if I was in his place, and
of
what's
course.
good, what's bad," and stuff like that, you keep
Mm.
questioning yourself and your morals, and it's just like, uh,
Okay, okay, okay. I
yeah,
mean,
I don't know,
especially
it's the
since it
first
came
thing
out.
that came to mind, and,
It also came out a while ago, so I think both of us must have seen it when we were pretty young.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's
uh, but I'm not sure I say no, I didn't read it when it came out, like, I read it years
yeah,
later,
of
but
course. Like,
yeah, and have you read they made a spin-off, like,
wait, there's a spin-off of
one
Death Note.
yeah, one chapter thingy that came out, like, this year or in
Look,
2019, I
like
think?
today, I just found out that Berserk put out a new chapter. I'm not really ready for all this information to find out.
Take
I'm
it slowly.
I'm young.
When you're ready,
I
when
don't
you're
need to
ready.
know. I'm innocent. I'm untouched by the Death Note one shot. Don't do this to me.
Yeah, yeah, but well, friendship, don't read it. Well, the beginning is nice, the concept is really fun, but the ending, it's like it ruins everything for you. So,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So like, generally, you're thinking that Death Note type thing is where Brain will be. Is there anything you've seen on
No,
Webtoon?
no, I don't think it's gonna be that, but it's just, like, what popped into my mind when
Okay,
I
fair
saw
enough.
this
Yeah, but that's
description.
like a general idea of what kind of thing might be in there. I think that's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so wait, what is there anyone making brain stuff or anything that's brain that might be coming out for the contest?
I don't know many people, like, the only people I've talked with about the contest were, like, people on Tapas forum or some people on, your Discord, but I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, some of them
Mm.
said they were gonna do, like, uh, mind uh, a mind-bending story, but I don't know what it's gonna be.
All the things I know that people are entering are hard. So I guess I don't know
Yeah,
any brain ideas that are coming. I mean, like, does anyone in chat know? It'd be great to know a suggestion if you just know someone making something, some vague concept, put it in there while we talk. Anyway, so like
yeah.
because you don't really know a lot of stuff that's coming up, you probably don't even have any like things that you're kind of inclined to winning at this point, right?
Well, no, because I haven't seen any submissions yet,
Yeah.
so it's hard to say, like, I think this is gonna win or not.
Okay,
But
fair enough. I'm gonna ask a question. It's kind of about this new ID, this new IP you're talking about,
mhm.
but
Yeah.
also about your comic in general, because I'm assuming you're making them simultaneously, pretty much.
Well, No.
Oh, so wait, have you just like stopped putting out the humor
Yeah.
chapter? Oh,
No,
okay.
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 So no. That's not exactly that. Like,
Mm,
I was in between projects at work, so
mm,
I had a full month to myself,
mhm,
and before that, I had like 2 months where I did small jobs, but they were not taking all my time, so I had a lot more time to work on Humor Me. And I
mhm.
was like, okay, I'm gonna be on fire. I'm gonna work on Humor Me full days, and I'm gonna like do double updates in several months so that everyone's gonna be happy. And then I saw the contest, and I was like, so I saw the contest on March 28th,
Oh
and
my
I was
god.
like, oh, there's a contest. Oh, that's nice. No, I'm not gonna do it. It's not reasonable. And then I was dead set on not even thinking about it. And then I got an idea, and I was like, nah, no, I can't do this. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna write it down so that maybe for a later, not even a later contest, but for a later time, if I have time, I'll do this.
Mm.
And then during the weekend, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start writing the script, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. And then at the end of the weekend, the script was entirely written. I had started drawing car designs, and I was like, all right, I'm in.
Oh,
I just
you're
got it.
okay. You're one of
And
those
so
people. Fair enough. I respect that on a fundamental level that I cannot explain, but I respect that. Okay.
but I was happy because it was the first time I was writing a short story, which is
Mm,
something I always said like I would
mm.
be totally incapable of doing, because every time I start writing something, I just want
To
to
expand and to grow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not even the world, but not but just the characters. They keep talking and talking and talking
And
and
you suddenly,
growing, and I'm
yeah.
just
And then one of
yeah,
them
yeah.
becomes a murderer, and then we find out all the real things. I mean, okay. See,
I had a death note.
yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden, we're right. We have Elle in the room. So
And what's wrong and what's
who's? No, I'm not doing that. So like, and this is something that's generally okay. So personally, I've been affected by this while making stuff. I'm assuming
Mhm,
you have been too. So the big C is over everyone's head right now. I don't want to say
mhm.
the word, right? Even though it's in the description of this video of this stream. But the big C is hanging over all of our heads right now. Now, for me, everything is kind of going a bit bad. Like just generally, dealing with the outside world, not being able to go outside and stuff. It's kind of
Mhm.
affected my work.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's pervading my work. Like right now, all I've been thinking about is writing a story about a manga I once read about a disease that turned people into animals,
Mhm.
and just writing a script just talking about it and how like visceral that feels compared to and like how it reminds me of what's happening right now, you know? Uh
Yeah, but
I know.
maybe yeah, I don't know, maybe that impacts you differently because you're a math teacher,
I guess maybe because it
and
like
so
directly affected my life. I'm just
yeah.
wondering, how about you? How's it affecting your creativity? How's it affecting your
Um,
life?
well, I started a new job while being in quarantines, which was really weird because it's on. I'm working so as a 2D animator on
Mm.
a long feature film, and it was
Oh,
in a new studio I've never worked at before.
yeah.
I don't know if we say studio. It's production
It's a studio.
thing.
Don't worry about it. Don't
Yeah.
stress.
Okay.
It's a studio.
And and um and so it was really weird starting that way because I couldn't compare myself to others, not in term of a art quality, but just like seeing how uh, my superior interacted with them, so that I can see if I'm doing okay or if I'm too slow or stuff like that. So when you're alone and you're just like on having calls, it's completely different. So it was a bit weird, but it's still okay. I'm not too impacted.
That's fair enough. I get you. Is it affecting your creativity, like just the way you're making things or what you're making? Is it like, is it seeping in there? Some idea, something that happened now, is that getting in there at all? Or you just kind of eh?
Mainly, I'm just a lot more productive
Okay,
because
fair enough.
I don't go out for drinks or dance classes and stuff
Mm,
like that.
those,
But
yeah. No, I
I
get you. I get
I
you.
feel like since I'm not heavily impacted, I'm just waiting for the the sword to fall. That's not an expression. I'm sorry, but you get what I mean.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
other shoe to fall or something.
Jesus Christ.
But a golden shoe that weighs it down.
A golden shoe that's worth about it. Somebody find me the density of a shoe. I need the volume of that shoe. We're gonna fill this shoe with gold.
No,
No.
but it feels like it's gonna for me personally that it's gonna get hard after the like in a month or two when
Oh
we start
yeah.
to get
Oh,
the
kind of get back to
financial
normal.
like aspect, yeah, and
Yeah.
but yeah. So
That's
for
still
now, it doesn't. It feels like I'm in denial again.
no, it's fair
But
enough. I
yeah,
get you. I
yeah.
get you. I think a lot of people I've been talking to about general about this thing.
Mm,
Um and it's a lot of people I've been watching on YouTube. They not only talk about it, they've made
mm,
like whole videos about it, but like interesting content. I think a really good
mm.
one that anybody should watch is from Ollie Thorne. It's called Beauty in the Bad Times or something. Some kind of it's the
Yeah,
newest video he put out. It's really good. And it talks about how he's like only thinking about making stuff around it, you know? And
yeah,
like me too. And I was just wondering how it would affect other people. Everyone else seems to be kind of dealing with this financial aspect. So
yeah.
Godspeed to you unlucky bastard. Bless you. I hope you're okay. You know?
Mm,
But yeah, I
definitely.
just wanted to know. It's affecting everyone right now. It's
Yeah,
affecting comic printers.
yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
yeah.
did you know that every comic company, it's not a lie, all the big three major comic companies, Marvel, DC, and Image, all print their comics from one company called Diamond?
And that suddenly it's
Diamond
not
can't
working anymore.
print anymore. So there are no releases of any physical comics
Oh god.
right now. Digital, and here's the thing, because they're not releasing physical, they also stop digital releases, which is part of the reason why I don't talk a lot about traditional comics, is that they
Mm.
frustrate me on this level. You know,
Yeah, that's weird. Like they could put them behind a paywall or something.
a digital release that's like 2 free chapters and or maybe a couple free chapters and an added website, I'd be reading it all the time.
Mm.
You know, maybe they just don't want me to look at the new Beast Boy. They just don't want me to see. Haven't you seen the new Teen Titan comic
Oh,
from
I'm not in.
the guy whose name starts with a G? I forgot, but it's really cool.
I'm
Is
I'm I'm not into comics like
how dare you?
superhero comics at all. Well, I've got. I know some of them are really are really beautiful, but I can't quite grasp like the thing. I don't even know where to begin the story, and sometimes you have to begin in the middle, and then there are several branches, and then you like step on the way, and maybe you'll get somewhere. But what matters is the journey, and not.
Gabriel Piccolo.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. I think my favorite thing. It's Gabriel Piccolo. Hey, Carrie, what's up, buddy? It's Gabriel Piccolo.
The mysterious Carrie.
He makes a new Teen Titans comic. You should read it. It's not about superheroes at all. It's about like young adults being young
Okay.
adults. It's actually good. But I see your point. I see your
Hmm.
point. I see your point, and I raise you the greatest comic hero of all time, Squirrel Girl.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's the comic I kind of miss the most. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right. But did you? Is that? Do you read it digitally or?
I actually own like a couple. I think I own a couple old issues in my old house,
Yeah.
just there. Yeah, I think she's like the greatest hero of all time. She's the best character because it's not about fighting. It's not about fighting. Like it's about fighting, but her character is not about fighting. I think it's a very interesting. If you want to study like making a
Yeah,
superhero
yeah.
and doing
I
interesting
like this
stuff,
kind of characters. But
yeah,
I don't know. But like in France, we don't really have this
comic industry.
issue. Yeah. Well, yes, we've got a big comic industry, but it's not like an issue thing where you are waiting for the next issue to come
Mm,
up like the next week or something. It's not like we've got people releasing albums uh, like several times a year, but it's not like a weekly thing.
mm.
So it's really different. Like it doesn't really matter if it comes out like a few months later or something.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I know.
Mm.
I know you guys have a very thriving like weekly comic thing that just comes out. It's not really about a story. It's just about that one issue, and then you kind of move on with your lives. So that's it's true though. Like
It's bigger than an issue.
it's like, you know what I mean. It's like one thing, and then you kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
just, you don't need to read it. You don't need to read the last one to get the new one. You don't need to read
yeah.
the next one to. You don't need to read
Mm-mm.
that one to get the next one. It's just interesting. I like it.
Mm.
The American system with floppies and reading like
Yeah, that's
thousand-year-old
what I'm
comics.
talking about. We have no floppies at all that I
Yeah,
know of, actually. I
reading
am not.
there's only one. No, the only French comic thing I know. It's not even real French. It's Canadian French. It's Code Lyoko.
Oh god. Yoko. Yoko. It's not oh,
Is it?
Yoko.
Yeah, Code Lyoko. Code
I,
Lyoko.
I, I are you talking about the
The
cartoon?
cartoon. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
had
it's
a they had a comic
French.
for like, I thought it was French Canadian.
Maybe it's a co-production, but I think the original guy went to my animation school. Guy who
Oh
made this
damn,
series.
damn.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah, yeah.
you going to high level animation school.
Yeah.
Gosh, an Oben Star Race. Anyway,
I've got this song stuck in my head now. Oh, did you know they made a live adaptation of Code Lyoko with French actors, and it's
we'll
it's
get.
horrific. It's like I still have nightmares about that thing. I've watched like half of the first episode, and it's like it's not even funny. It's
Put a
so bad. You just want to tear your eyes out. And
put a pin in it. We'll get back to adaptations later, but I do like the
yeah.
fact that that exists. I like that that exists. You know,
Oh, you won't.
on on the topic of comics and like
Yeah.
printing right now, indie comic gigs, because the most indie comics are still relatively mostly digital. A lot of them are very
Hmm.
digital, so they're still releasing stuff. So if you've got like spare money, I think this is like the best time to go out and find that person who's making something you really really like, and just
Yeah.
giving and buying it. You have nothing else you're doing with your time. Not you specifically, but just everyone, you know?
Mm-mm.
And like, I mean, you know,
In the
live a little.
same vein, I think you can like maybe try to find someone who's struggling a bit financially in this time, a comic artist you like,
Mm.
and then maybe support them on their Patreon or give them a coffee for like a month or so,
Yeah.
and it's
Just
still yeah,
if
it's
you
still a way
can,
to
do. If
mm.
you can't,
Yeah, yeah,
not.
if you can, of course.
And also for some people, it's just fine if you read what they make. Hell,
Yeah,
half the time, if people just tell me that they've watched what I've made, I'm pretty happy.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And some of them are like, "I'm so sorry, I can't support you financially," and I'm like, you're taking the time to give me nice feedback and you read my stuff, and that's plainly enough, like
Yeah. That's what we
it
call good stuff.
yeah.
Good, you know, chef's kiss. Good stuff.
Chef's kiss. Mwah.
Good stuff. I'm sorry, that was so stupid.
Do you have any news from Kaz, or is she still
I think she's been.
asleep?
I'm 100% sure Kaz has been kidnapped by bears.
Bears.
That's my new assertion.
Uh-huh.
Mostly because I've DM'd her. I just think I just think she's tired. Life in it. So I'm
Okay.
just gonna barrel forward like the giant barrel that I am. I didn't have a joke here.
I was trying to see where you were going with this.
I had nothing. Because
I'm
speaking on that,
disappointed.
please don't be disappointed.
Too late.
The Malaysian sun bears. Thank you. I knew she was being kidnapped by a bear.
Mhm.
Okay, now we can get back to speaking of adaptations that you spoke of earlier. Now I'm bringing it back in because you know this is called a segue. Um, as we segue into adaptations, I just want to say I have seen the Tower of God anime.
Yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes because I don't have a subscription to
Okay,
Crunchyroll, but
very very short, like kind of review section of the Tower of God anime. How did it make you feel? First 3 episodes only is good enough, really.
I was pleasantly surprised, actually.
Okay,
I
For,
haven't read the comic, to be
okay.
honest, so
The
I
the
can't.
first episode was bullshit, but everything else is
Yeah,
alright.
yeah, but I no, but I was even like first thing I really looked at when watching the first episode was the animation quality.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Can I? That's something that got me. personally. It's just like,
Mhm.
I've been thinking about it generally, like talking about adaptation, thinking about adaptation, seeing this anime
Mhm.
made me think, well, okay, comics were being, until this whole thing started, comics were getting into a very legit space. And
Mhm.
anime isn't anything to scoff at. That's a lot of money down pat.
Yeah.
And then I think about it, I'm just like, what would I want my thing to become? Like, do I want it to be a K drama, an anime? Do I want it to become
Both.
a
Why
bunch of
choose?
licensed mugs?
Oh
Like,
no. Plushies. Plushies.
yeah, plushy, like a plush line. But my point is just,
No.
what would I want my work to be adapted to? I
Yeah.
watch things like the Ant-Man movie, and I watch
Mm.
things like what do you call it, Endgame and stuff. And I start
Mhm.
thinking, how would I feel if that was my thing? Would I be happy with the decisions they made? I don't know. Like, is there anything particularly that you wouldn't be happy with if the anime, if they took humor me and said, let's make an anime about a poor girl and her brother?
Well, I'm of two minds about that because, well, one part of me, the animator, is like, if Kimami was turning into an anime adaptation, I want to be on board. I want to have my say as an animator.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to direct it or something. So,
Such strong goals.
and one part of me is like, I would like Kimami to be a traditional Japanese anime, like a not English dubbed or French
Weebs.
dubbed or something. So I would be like, do your magic, do your anime magic, and I want to see what comes out of
I
it.
hope they change all of your characters' names. Like they changed
No, no.
Bam's name
Oh
to
yeah.
Yuri and Rachel's name to Rahel. I hope they change all of your characters' names. If that's what you're doing to me. Look, all right. I like the whole Japanese anime thing. I get it. I get why people like it. But
Hmm.
honestly, when I heard Taro God was becoming an anime, I was expecting something so like traditionally Western. I want something different. Or maybe something
Yeah,
more Korean. Like, Avatar, The Last Airbender? That was
yeah,
animated by a Korean studio. So
yeah,
in my
yeah. I know.
brain, that's the
Mm.
Korean animation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but so once again, I haven't really seen the
Mm.
comic, but is the design close
Uh,
to the
yes,
comic?
yes and no.
Because
If it's the later chapters, it's close in design. If it's the earlier chapters, nothing looks like the
okay,
earlier chapters of Tower of God. Only,
okay.
only God's strength can get you through those. Like,
Can you tell, like, if the author was trying to emulate Japanese designs and I don't
I
know
have.
if it's the case, it kind of makes sense.
It only happens
Which
later though, but it's still a pretty Koreanish. It looks like like it starts becoming more like noblesse. Like
yeah,
that Korean art style that's super like generic and like
mm,
very high quality. You know what I mean?
yeah, mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I say that, I would like Kiwami to be a traditional Japanese anime, is because since it was born from my manga's influence
Mm.
and which is the same reason I would love it to be a Korean drama, because I don't know, it's like it
Okay.
would make sense in my head. But yeah, if it was if I had to if I had the opportunity to direct it, not the drama but the anime adaptation, I would do it like with a style that would be more European and try
Mm.
something different. Yeah.
No, I get you. I get
Especially if it was with English voices.
because I think what I saw when I was looking at the Tower of God anime, and I don't know if it's
Mhm.
just me, it was a little bit of like I just felt a little bit meh. Like I just I mean,
The lines are weird. I
yeah, the dialogue
maybe
feels
that's what
weird.
feel. No, the line art.
Oh, okay. Go
Like,
on.
because that's what was a bit disturbing for me. It was like it has all the codes of uh, a regular anime, but the lines, I think maybe it's drawn entirely digitally or something. But there's something with the lines. They're a bit thicker. They're a bit stiffer than what we're used to, and so maybe there's like some sort of dissonance
Okay,
that
fair enough, fair enough.
I,
I've
I'm
just
not
been
sure. No, when I said I was pleasantly surprised, it's because have you seen the no, the trailers like
Yeah,
the
I
Let's
did.
Play adaptation on Webtoon's channel.
Oh, I saw those.
Yeah,
And I saw the
and
My Giant Nerd Boyfriend animation, and like
yeah.
I'm very happy that both of them got their work animated. You know, it's a
Hmm.
great thing for anyone to get their work animated. I did not like them, not
No,
because of,
no.
that's all. I'm not really. It's not an attack on them or anything. Before anybody says that I'm doing that, I just personally wasn't my thing. I don't. Seems it wasn't yours either.
Yeah, but I know why. So,
What? Go. Tell me why. Give me the secret
well,
sauce.
like I'm gonna talk about Let's Play because I watch more episodes of that,
Hmm.
and like I think the design was great. The character design was great. The backgrounds were great. The animation was really really okay. Like nothing to say about that, but there was something in the rhythm and in the voices and in the sound design that just
Mm.
didn't work. Like the rhythm was so off, and I was like, oh lord, if they're gonna adapt, like I was really fearing that this Crunchyroll partnership was gonna be like,
Like that.
yeah, and I was like,
I'm gonna
god
say,
no,
did you see the
please.
trailers? Did you see the Crunchyroll trailers for all the animes that
Yeah,
were released?
then
And
I saw the trailers and I
can
was
I?
like, okay.
Were you excited when you saw the trailer?
I
Um,
was I was so afraid it was gonna be horrific that
it
like
looked it looked
in
a bit plain.
comparison I was like, okay, like the God of High School one that just got out
Mm,
like this week,
yeah.
and I was like, it looks at least a bit solid, you know,
Okay, yeah,
compared
fair
to.
enough. I mean, I guess for a first time, this is what you'd expect from a company with Webtoon's kind of monetary backing. So good for
Well,
them.
they do like God of High School is gonna be made by the studio and the director of Yuri on Ice, so it's not like they
Wait,
don't go
what?
from. Yeah, that's what they said on
But
Crunchyroll. Like,
for the greatest animation of all time, Yuri on Ice.
well, at least they're not coming from nowhere. They know what they're doing. Kind of.
I
It's not.
love you. No, I like Yuri on Ice. I'm gonna say this is not a joke. Okay,
Okay.
so no, I wasn't trying to be like sarcastic and mean. I actually like Yuri on Ice. Okay, just I swear. I know I sound very sarcastic. I'm sorry.
I
um,
don't know what to think when you talk.
I am gonna say that. I'm thinking about it as well. I was like, I'm looking at the Tower of God stuff, and I've been hearing some things about God of High School and
Hmm.
how these are background things. These are rumors at best. I don't even think they're legit. But I'm hearing some things about the God of High School artists not getting along with the animators or whatever.
Oh,
And I'm just starting,
uh,
and
I,
then, and like, while I know that's probably random crap, it just got
mhm.
me on the line of thinking, like, how would I feel if I wasn't,
Yeah.
if somebody just took my work and animated it? I have no choice.
Well,
And
there's a contract to sign, so
yeah,
you
but like
might have.
you signed the contract like 6 months ago, and technically, like I know the contracts are usually pretty allowing. They are.
Yeah.
Webtoon's contracts are very allowing. But I'm just imagining, like I'm at the point of no return. I can't turn back, and they're still
Yeah.
going to animate my work. How would I feel?
It
How
would be
would you
pretty
feel?
terrifying, I
Really?
think. Yeah. But
Um,
I like again being an animator, I know it works with the constraints,
mhm,
and how like some people, there are also the problem of the author trying to be the director, when it's not
mhm,
their role, and it can be really difficult to make them understand what's possible and what's not,
mhm,
in not only in animation but also with the budget they might have and stuff like that. So
mhm.
it's not easy, and but yeah, it depends also. Maybe culturally they might do things differently than in France and have more leeway, and I don't know.
Because if things go wrong, they take my work and they do whatever I want, what they want. One hand, I get the Code Lyoko live action adaptation.
Well, you
On one,
cry tears of blood. Hope no one will see it.
you know, on the
Change your name, never appear on social medias ever again.
and on the other hand, oh yeah, because lots of Japanese artists have to deal with this issue. That's a good point, Akari. Lots of Japanese artists deal with this issue regularly because their
Yeah.
contracts are I've only heard of this through like forums, so I'm not 100% on the details. But from what I'm here, their contracts can be brutal as hell. So,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
I'm not sure about this, but maybe when they sign up with an editor,
mm,
the editor in the contract says that it can be adapted to an anime, but it's going to be dealt with the editor and not, you know what I mean? Like,
mm,
and if you're a creator just hoping for your manga
big
to be
break.
published,
Yeah.
yeah, you're not gonna look at this and
In fact,
start
you
like,
probably never think your stuff is gonna get past manga.
yeah, yeah. And if it does, you're like, I'm gonna be the happiest man in the world, or you know what?
Uh,
So,
I
uh,
mean, yeah.
I don't know.
So, I mean, look. At the end of the day, I don't want Code Lyoko live action. I really, I really
No
don't
one,
want Code.
no one does. No one.
Some people do. Some people clearly do.
No, I'm
Because
guessing even the director of that live action didn't want.
I
Or I hope
mean,
so.
you find out that this is his secret dream all along to make that Code Lyoko live action.
Or you hated Kolyoko and this secret revenge or something. That would make more sense.
um. Okay. Question, and this is a question for everyone, but for you too. If you found out an anime you wanted, or a Korean drama, or anything you wanted to watch based on a webcomic comic book you've been reading was going to get put out, right?
Hmm.
And you had zero, you knew the author had zero control over it. In fact, he didn't even know it was being made. They just put it out, and then he found out the same day you did, right?
That's not possible.
You know what I
Like
mean?
that
It's
would.
it's a joke. It's part of the hypothetical. Follow me
All
here.
right, all
All right.
right, all
You
right.
said philosophy at the beginning of the. We're doing some real philosophy. So you find out this in this thought experiment. Yeah, I'm giving it a big name. You find out this. You find out an anime is coming out the same day as the author just found out. You both know at the same time. It's out now, right? Would you watch it?
Hmm.
How would you watch it as an animator? Would you think it's right to even look at it, considering the fact that the creator has no fucking clue what's in there?
Well, I would watch it and then I would probably trash it or something.
What if
No,
it's
I
what?
would. No, no, I wouldn't.
Okay,
I wouldn't trash the, except if it's like Code Lyoko live action bad. But if it's normal or good or anything, I would just try to trash the persons who decided to do this without a contract.
I mean,
Like,
what if it's amazing? Because this is one of the things, like as you pointed out, a lot of authors are not directors. They're not. They
yeah,
want to be. They're not. And quite often, it's kind of like when you don't tell your child exactly what you're putting in a meal because you want to hide the vegetables in the food, right? Sometimes
you keep
you just
trying to
kind
keep.
of Yeah, sometimes you just kind of look at the author and go, "I like you. I don't want you to know right now that things what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna hide the vegetables in the food and make the anime the way I think makes sense because I've been doing this for 10 years."
I think first they would try to convince the author of why it's the right way to do things.
Mm,
And if they see that the author has such an ego that they won't listen or something, um, they might try to trick them into it. Yeah, but it's not necessarily bad. Like, for example, the God of High School adaptation. I tried to read it, to be honest, but the beginning, I'm just, it's just,
You know what's
I
sad is I love the beginning of God of High School, and then I
really.
some I don't know. It's like it's so very basic shonen. Like
Well, yes and no, because it has all the codes, but it doesn't use his. I don't understand with the rhythm again and the way they explain thing and
oh
we're a
no,
bit
yeah,
lost.
you're right. It's all
And
confusing, but you don't
yeah,
understand.
it's clumsy. It's clumsy, and
Yeah,
probably because it was like eh,
quickly
it
put
was
together.
long ago, and the
Yeah,
beginning of my own comic, it is very clumsy as well. If I could like
yeah,
rewrite the first chapters, I would, but I'm not going to do that because I've got all the other chapters to do. But
pretty much.
um, but yeah, I feel like if I had the opportunity to have it adapted to an anime or a drama, I would rewrite the beginning because I would do it differently. So
Okay.
if this drama or anime adaptations are gonna make the start better and better with a better rhythm and better way of better storytelling, then good.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, if it's without the author's consent, it's a bit problematic. So,
Let me just do a couple. Goodbye, Geek Boy. Also, Rice, what's with me and children? I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. I only there are several weeks in my life where the only people I interact with are children and teachers.
and that
It's
explains a lot.
yeah, it kind of really gets you mentally, bro. And like I'm still teaching right now, so there are several days in this house where the only people I talk to are kids in are kids on email asking me questions about homework and teachers.
Well, you're lucky. I've got a friend who's an English teacher actually, and he's like, he has like 150 students, and only like 8 of them turn back homeworks, and
No, that's
yeah,
that's all right.
so yeah, he's a bit depressed about that.
Oh, somebody's coming soon. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's fine. Um, I teach. Let's see. So each class is 32, and I teach 10 classes. I teach
Whoa.
320 students.
Whoa.
But I'm only setting homework for like 100.
Do you know all their names?
Yeah, all of them. Every single one of them, actually, strangely enough. But it's really, really weird. I know all their names. I know, like I can still somehow when you're around that many people, you can just somehow learn their names, learn
Mm,
everything about them that they tell you, remember it, and then
mm.
always pull it out when you see them. And it's like I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
you I think you categorize it in your brain, like
Yeah,
you put them in the in
yeah.
yeah.
This is not my dream job. my dream job is working in an ice cream sandwich factory and having
All
infinite ice
right.
cream sandwiches. No, it's a
You would
joke, by
just
the
like get super sick of it and regret your choice
That's a
forever.
joke, by the way. That's a line from a cartoon that I watched a few years ago.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. We're at the ending point. Random question time. Maybe Kaz will show up and ask and join us for questions. I do have a question already for you, asked
Mhm.
by somebody a few days ago. Um,
Mhm.
they said, and I quote, "What advice would you give youngsters who'd like to start drawing comics and who've got no experience at all in that domain?" This is kind of off topic from everything we're talking about, so these are just questions. If you're leaving,
Mhm.
leave now. If you're willing to listen to these questions, guys, do listen. Anyway, so what advice would you give a youngster who likes to start drawing and has no experience at all in that domain?
But that depends what they mean by domain. If
I
it's
think they
like
mean in art, um,
art
or in comics.
life. um,
Breathing.
well, if they don't draw at all, I would say like start drawing, of course, because if they want to make a comic one day, or start writing, if maybe they have an inkling that what they want to do is tell a story, and then maybe they'll find someone to draw it for them.
yeah,
But yeah, start drawing, and then if they mean just the comic making part that they draw normally, but they oh Kaz.
hey Kaz, welcome in. You good, bud?
Can't hear you.
Okay, her microphone is coming back.
But yeah, if she's gone.
She'll be back.
If they if
They always
they
come
already
back.
draw and they want to start making a comic, an advice I would give is that they shouldn't limit themselves just because they think they're not gonna be good enough
Mm,
to do something. Like, for example, if they I don't know if they suck at drawing backgrounds and uh, they want the story to take place in this world with a lot of architecture and stuff like that, they shouldn't stop themselves from trying to
make that.
draw this. Yeah,
Yeah,
because maybe it's gonna suck a bit at the beginning, but they're gonna get better and better. And like if they shy away and try to stay in their zone,
they'll never grow.
they never grow, and it's never gonna be interesting because
Fair
it's gonna
enough.
be like what you expect from their level. the time. So
Okay.
yeah.
Main and just let's just say welcome, Kaz. Are you okay?
Well, let's just say this pandemic has done all sorts of silly to everyone's like routine and everything. So
No, we got you, bud. Literally, we
yeah,
got it.
yeah, legit. What happened? Legit, what happened was like I was up at like 6 a.m. my time. I was like, no, this isn't what. This is like an hour and a half too early. And I was like, yeah, okay, my alarm is set for later. I'm gonna be fine. Then I don't know. I wake up and I'm like, whoops, this is not 7:30 a.m. I better rush down. So
Sorry. I mean,
so yeah,
we're
really
kind of we just got to the end.
you got to the end of the whole like show. I thought usually you talk about it now.
Yeah, we've asked all the questions. We were
Oh
just
my gosh.
we were taking.
We can.
Yeah, we talked about Code Lyoko. You missed Code Lyoko.
What is Code Lyoko?
It's this French anime that trust me, it's so weird and bad. It's so bad and weird. It's just a weird bad anime. We were talking about adaptation.
You're saying it's bad because you haven't seen the live version yet.
There's a live adaptation. That's why we brought it up in the first place.
Nan, can I just have a quick comment? Like, why are we all not social distancing in this image?
Listen, I don't think you understand. I am not afraid of the corona. I've avoided saying that this whole time, and I'm saying it now.
You drew a mask on Charlie for your
for the
banner.
Yeah, I've asked myself if anyone has any questions. We're pretty much taking them now. Otherwise,
yeah. So I mean, this is interesting because like usually our casts go on for much longer than this. So when you said you pretty much finished, I was like, I am surprised.
It's been I hit an hour straight. Look at me.
Then did you upgrade yourself during our like 1 month break?
Listen, I've done a lot of good things for myself. I got really good at organizing. I watched a video on Skillshare about it. Sponsor me, Skillshare.
Will you?
Marvin, will you draw a cow for me?
Well, do you want to know the truth?
Yeah.
I was anticipating you asking that, so I've been drawing a cow for 10 minutes or so. But
have you got an image for us yet?
Just in a minute. It's not exactly down yet.
As always, I will post it on Twitter, where I post all the things I look at. Anyway, from Joaquim. That means Joachim. I don't know why I'm saying Joaquim. I know how to say your name. Something's changed in my brain. What webtoons do you read, Marvin? What do you read? Just name the one thing, the last thing you read on purpose that wasn't something that someone else told you to read.
Spirit Fingers.
Wow. The hell is that?
What's that about?
It's a featured webtoon actually, and it's about a group of people that are in a drawing club. And it's really cool. It's like a slice of life romance. It's feel good. It's like my kind of things. And what's cool is like in this club there are like older people. It's not only teenagers, and I don't know. I really like it. It's funny. It looks great.
It's the first time I've heard of it, and I'm looking at it right now. I probably will binge this tonight.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. And to be honest, I don't read a lot of I don't really have the time. And I regret it, but I love you a bit.
Thank you.
That.
That's so polite. But I mean, I was asking about comics.
You're tired. You're tired.
Wait, no, but I love you as in kimchi's I love you?
Yeah, and I was thinking like we were talking about adaptations, and when I read I love you, I feel like I'm just watching a Korean drama.
Like, that's the one that consistently comes up as like I would love to see this as a Korean drama adaptation or a live action one. A lot of people say that.
So sometimes it feels like sometimes I'm not sure what the comic brings the comic aspect brings to the story. I'm like, if it was a Korean drama, it would be just as good. I don't know. It's not like, I'm not saying this in a bad way because I love the character designs and stuff like that. But I'm just like, it could have been a live drama and it would be just as good.
Slightly controversial opinion. If it wasn't a Korean drama, I'd like it more. So Korean drama. So if it wasn't a comic, I'd like it more. I feel like if it's on a film space, it would have so many more dimensions to like do all the cool stuff that she tries to do in comic form, and sometimes it doesn't work out, but it would be better in real life. Does that make sense? Am I just full of shit? Okay, cool.
Is it, you mean the comic currently does that stuff?
Yeah, so the comic tries to do like scenes that are like big and bold, and it's like and I'm like, this is amazing, but then I look at my phone and I'm like, it's on this crappy thing. If it was on a television, after all, that'd be different. You know, like that's how my brain sees it. It's just like I would rather watch it on a TV.
Yeah, and it feels like because it's very realistic. Like sometimes there are like less realistic drawings to make it more caricatural, but it kind of pops out from the rest, I think. But it's just my opinion. But you're like, I want to see actors doing this scene and bringing their acting skills to the mix.
That's fair.
I think there are some things, right, that are a little bit too much to like digest on a phone webcomic, but would have been lovely to do on a screen. Like because it's like what Nan said. I think dialogue walls of text are one.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when a character has a monologue, like going like, you know, explaining what's going on, this and that, and then like their own like, you know, inner thoughts kind of thing. That one is a bit hard to do too much of on a webcomic.
Yeah. I sent you the cow.
I just got the cow. I am very excited. I'm gonna tweet this out later. I just want to make sure to show.
Are we gonna show people a sneak peek of the cow?
I want to tweet. I don't want to ruin format. That's the only reason I haven't done it yet. Do you don't know how much? I don't know how much I want to put this cow just everywhere. It's really good. This is like top 3 cows on the list. This is top 3. This is top
flattered.
3. Yeah.
Then we usually like throw sneak peeks of things on the channel, but sure, if you want to like, you know, reserve for Twitter, go right ahead.
It's complicated. Dude. You don't understand how personal this is. it's
yeah. I'm not sure I want to know.
Marvin, a bit of a segue, Marvin. I've actually never mentioned how much I really like your comic because
thank you.
I would have said it earlier in the show had I not been in Slumberland. But yes, I really did. I was like, yeah, sassy little kid, my spirit animal. So now you know. Now you know.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's good. It's been good. Okay. All right. Any
and
more
also,
questions?
yeah, I just I also read like Jamie and This Is Not Fiction that are kind of the same feeling as Humor Me. So if you don't know them, so Jamie by Indigo and This Is Not Fiction by Nicole Manino.
Oh, that actually sounds pretty cool.
This is not fiction.
This Is Not Fiction is a Hiveworks.
It's a Hiveworks, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it's on its own domain. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is fair. It makes sense. Okay, thank you very much for telling us here. No one seems to have any more questions. I do want to read This Is Not Fiction. I know of it because I know a lot of Hiveworks comics just because I went through their website once and just looked at all the names. Once.
Then. Remember our past shows we used to get our guests to like rate things on a certain theme out of 10, and then we never did that.
I said I planned, and I didn't plan for that. I planned for everything else.
Which I'm grateful for.
Okay, so the last time, like, you know, we had someone rate like you know, shotas or like young boy characters because you know it was Isaki because she had a lot of them in her comic. Yeah. So I don't know, like we should get Marvin to do something based on theirs.
I'm scared.
No, because
rate school uniforms out of 10, like, you know, like anime or like comic school uniforms out of 10. What about that?
How does it work? I'm supposed to say a number?
I don't actually know how it would work, but I mean, It's the worst that could happen, right?
Yes. Yeah, Marvin. Marvin, let me explain it to you. So
I'm very afraid of googling the word school uniform.
Yeah, no, and say any. School anime. Basically, just Google that, and then you probably like see a bunch of like different series. So, what happens is that we used to ask people to like rate certain things based on a theme, like rate vampires out of 10, like rate like relationships out of 10, like hairstyles out of 10. Oh yeah, that's really weird looking ones. Oh, Toradora is an interesting
Toradora is
anime.
an interesting one. While we're going
Anime.
through it, tell me what you think about the Toradora anime while I ask you this question, Marvin. Marvin, what artist do
Is
you
that
admire?
is that the thing with the really small girl and tall guy, and
Yeah.
she's super sassy or something? I've
Yeah.
never
She's a
watched it.
tsundere as hell. Yes, Taiga and Yuji.
I think I just read the summary because it was on Netflix or something, but I didn't watch it. I don't,
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, sorry.
But just before that, no, we'll get to the rating part later. But just before that, this question asking what artists do you admire or which artists have inspired you, any that impacted your own style.
Tough question because I'm not I don't read a lot of comics. To be honest, I grew up with very classical European comics like Tintin and Lucky Luke and stuff like that.
I love
And
Tintin.
and I'm not sure it has impacted my style much, but I've got a lot of nostalgia for those.
I like Tintin.
And then I got into
Asterix.
mangas. Yeah, Asterix as well. I've read them all. Maybe like as I was saying earlier, the Ghibli movies, they really impacted me in terms of how it feels like, just the ambience and the the way the characters interact and how they grow and stuff like that. My favorite movie is The Iron Giant, and several people told me that they kind of felt some sort of Iron Giant vibe from my characters. So I think it has impacted me without realizing it.
Yeah, I think it. I mean, I wouldn't count it out. Plenty of like subconscious influences that artists
Yeah,
don't realize they've had.
and
So
I'm probably gonna say something that will sound very bad, but I get inspired a lot by bad stuff. Like when I read a terrible story, or when I watch a horrible film, and I'm like, I like to dissect why it's bad. When I watch something and I find it perfect, I'm like, I'm not touching it. It's perfect. I don't want to delve into the making of the thing because I love the end product, and I don't want to know the magic, and when I see something that is really bad, like obviously if I started reading it, it's because it had something in the concept or in the summary that made me want to read it, and that promised me things that I didn't get. So I'm very frustrated. And then I like thinking like why I would have done it differently and what I didn't like, which is exactly why I created Yumami. And so yeah, I'm very easily inspired by stuff that I don't like.
I bet Ruby is a big inspiration for you.
What?
Ruby the
Ruby
anime.
RWBY, yeah.
Ruby.
Oh, you've never seen that?
No.
Oh, so lucky. So young and lucky.
Yeah, no, but I think I like it though, because I think more people should be exposed to things outside of their own bubble that they don't like, because it forces you to think about why you like something and why you don't like something.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I like good quality animation. I like
Then you can then drill down and then say what is good quality animation to you.
yeah, and I like compelling storytelling. These are things that I think I
Yeah.
can describe pretty well now that I've seen Ruby. I can.
Oh god.
I'm so good at explaining now.
We can answer questions as we prep for this thing. But then I think one of the first examples of anime school uniforms I was thinking of was if you Google Oran High School Host Club.
Oh,
yes.
that
That is
Oran. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
That
like
is
Put,
them
put
at
them
all.
up because you've got the boys and the girls ones, and they're really they're
an
gonna be more different. Oh my god, Google, shut up! I say Google or High School Host Club and my phone reacted, so I don't know what's.
That is
I really should
creepy.
turn it.
That is terrifying.
Listen, Google
See, I
isn't
mean,
listening.
yeah. So, I mean, not your Google, mine is because you've got my phone right with me. But this isn't the first time like a stray Google Assistant or Siri has popped up asking for something. I was like wondering where that audio is coming from. Was like someone's speaker, and I was like, oh shoot, it's mine.
This
But
is
yeah,
great.
no, have we got something up?
Yeah,
on
I got
screen?
it. I got it. I got it.
Yeah, let's show that.
Oran High School Host Club. Is there a
Yeah.
girls Oran High School?
No. It's the uniforms for the guys and the girls are different. So this is the guys.
Yeah.
You can't see the trousers here. Geez, then.
Listen, I went for high quality images. All the ones with their legs are like 240p. I'm
Oh, but
doing
it's black. It's black. It's regular black.
it's regular.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't like those blazers.
Yeah, no, that baby blue. Nope.
Not my
Not doing it
thing.
for me. Yeah.
That's baby blue. I thought that was a little bit more towards the slightly purplish side. So I mean, rating out of 10, Marvin.
6 because no 7 because I like the black pants, and I really like horror in high school. So
Yeah, I imagine right there would be like made out high quality uniform and you have good tailoring, so probably 7 out of 10 would sounds like about right.
yeah,
But
it's just the
otherwise-
color. I don't like the color. But are we talking only the male ones or the females? The female ones.
I guess
Okay.
only the male
Because
ones.
female.
I found a large one for the females, so let me just go and open the image in a tab, and I'll just pop a link in the chat to here in Twitch.
Whatever could it be? I need to understand. My internet will what is this uniform? Who
I know.
legalized this?
The female ones get a -5.
Thank you. Yes.
Everything is atrocious about it.
They deserve a -5. They deserve a -6.
The fluffy sleeves. Yeah, -6. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Who wears it? I'm just listen. Okay. All right. As a high school teacher.
Yeah, of course.
As a professional in this field, all right. I just want to say, kids like run everywhere and like get mud on things. No kid is wearing this fucking dress.
Well, they are rich kids. In their defense, they're not supposed to run anywhere because it's not like it's not what a rich kid would do.
Please, don't say that about rich kids. They like to have fun too.
Well, obviously, this image is proving me wrong. I guess I'm just gonna shut up now.
It's just really, to me, it's just really impractical looking.
Yeah,
but then
and it looks so hot, like
Look at those
really
frills.
heavy. Yeah.
The petticoats and all that. Yeah.
She's going to fucking burn inside that dress.
She's boiling.
She's not making it. We lost her.
We lost her.
Okay.
I found Gekan should get.
Yeah?
I found Nozaki-kun.
Oh yes,
it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite animes.
I think I personally I would dock marks for the weird emblem because I don't get it, but otherwise like the coloring is quite nice. I don't know. What do you think?
That is very true. What did they do with that emblem? Is that is that a bee? No.
Yeah, it's a bee. It's a bee. It's actually a bee. It's
okay.
a big bee.
I really don't get it. It's a really weird shape. It's one of the things that stuck out like a sore thumb to me when I first saw like the.
Yeah, it is weird. So I would say.
Listen, all I'm saying is any school uniform where you can wear your tie like that is primo material.
Yeah.
I hate wearing ties. I have to wear a tie all the time. It's painful.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, Nico Shiba doesn't wear a tie. Depending on who you're looking at, like they don't wear a tie. But I wonder if you can see Chiyo's version of the uniform. I mean, which isn't too much different. But
I don't think I have that. I only. You mean this one? Oh no, I don't have
But
girls.
Nen, do your students have uniforms?
Yeah, we do. Every
Okay.
school in the
Generally in the UK, people do have uniforms to school, except for when
Okay.
you go, depending on public or
assassin school.
I'm very
Assassin.
glad to hear that, because when I gave my
Yeah.
the students in humor me uniform, I was like, I hope this is really a thing in the UK
No,
and
you
not
you did a
thing
really
is so
good
in.
job.
Okay.
Actually.
wearing
That's-
for
So I-
football, so please.
I didn't say, but for Nozaki-kun, I would say like 6.5 because of the emblem.
We haven't given it a rating. What was the rating for it?
I think she said it was fine. What number
Oh,
would you give
5?
Nosaki?
No,
Fine.
no, I said 6.5 for
Yeah.
Nozaki-kun.
6.5. Okay. I have
Yeah,
assassin
okay.
school, and this time we have both uniforms and some creepy
Yeah.
octopus monster.
Wait. So basically, I need to highlight something, right? It's very common for various students to like jazz up the uniform a little slightly. So you
Yeah.
may like so this waistcoat thing is not a standard, but it is.
Oh,
for
I was
those
gonna
kid-
give
for
some
the-
more points for
I know,
waistcoat
right?
thing.
That's all right. That's all right. That's
Okay,
all right.
I
You
still-
totally could.
I'm still gonna give an 8 to the guy, and the girl, I think she like rolled up her skirt so that it's shorter.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna duck points for that.
She's in the lowest. She's in the lowest.
Because you're like 16, young lady. You shouldn't be doing.
Oh my goodness.
So strict.
So she's getting a 6.
Fair enough. They use guns in their schools though, so I don't know if they're really worried about you giving them a 6. I'm
And you
gonna
think this
Man
is
should
gonna-
cosplay a t-shirt.
Angel B. I do.
I mean,
I don't
Angel
like
Beats
this
is
color.
Yeah. Hang on.
Yeah.
Can you look up Kakegurui, the compulsive gambler one?
Please don't do this to me, Kaz.
Yes.
I'm young and innocent. I don't need to see kakegurui. Young people like me are supposed to be protected. Oh, there's a solid image of the uniform right there.
Yeah, like down the list of Kakegurui. Yeah, there we go.
Or this
So
one. Which one?
Oh, they're not bad.
We're trying
The
to find.
origin.
Yeah, I think I had.
yeah,
an image.
so Kakegurui, for those of you guys who don't know, this is set at a school where they all gamble to play all sorts of games, and that way for reasons.
But
And the main character is obviously not as privileged as the rest of them. So let's just open up the.
This image is very low quality.
Yeah.
I've been lied to by the internet.
You don't need necessarily need the full body version. Like this one
Yeah.
with Yumiko lying down
Okay,
that
there.
is pretty. Yeah, there you
Li-
go.
Listen,
Well,
one person is wearing a kimono.
No,
She's
I
not,
don't
she's
like
not.
it. I
Oh.
don't
It's
like
not
it
a
because
kimono.
the way the jacket, like, it looks really thin, because we see all their curves, and it doesn't look like it can hold up in winter. It's
So-
not now. It's not good quality. I'm sorry. It's just
I like
for
this.
show.
I
Yeah,
like this.
no.
I like this.
I mean, Marvin's not wrong. I mean, they do look like those if you go to a casino, they're trying to mimic that sort of feel.
Yeah.
That's why the colors are like that. But on the other hand, whoever did this art vacuum formed the clothes around them, so now
Yeah.
it looks like a cheap ass jacket.
Exactly. So I'm gonna give it a 4.
Oh, I mean, color scheme out of 10, I do like it a lot, but
Let's see.
Mm.
okay. So Cardcaptor Sakura, we have two phases, so they're like junior high school phase, and then they're now in high school because there's the clear card arc because it's after a time skip.
I'm just gonna say
So
that I can't find a proper image, so this is what we got. This is what we got.
That's okay. The sailor uniform is such a classic. Okay, so Toya, the two boys there are in high school, a different high school, Seiji High School, I think is the one. If I
It's
can remember
one.
right.
It's probably Uran High School because it's that baby blue we were talking about.
It's a slightly different color though. And
I
think
really don't like the blue. The tie,
No.
okay. Light blue with a dark blue tie. What is this? This kid supposed to, what is he doing with his life? Why is he wearing a dark blue?
Aren't you supposed to be colorblind and have nothing to say about this?
This is blue.
Oh.
I'm red green. Fight me. Fight me.
But the sailor uniforms for the younger ones,
It's
the
okay.
boys,
It's okay.
Yeah, so one thing that interests me is that for this age they're both wearing the sailor like style tops, because usually people associate the sailor style tops with girls only, but when you
Yeah, that's
yeah, I
true.
think when you're younger in Japan they're unisex, so
Not the skirt.
not the skirt, obviously, not the skirt. Hey, I think I mean, let guys wear skirts if they want to. Like, I mean,
Yeah, but
I'm
I'm
not
not
letting your
sure
face
they're
talk,
trying
but
to make a political statement with the fact that the
not
top is the same.
no, no, of course not. No, I'm just it's not the point isn't because of a political statement. The point is just that it was a little bit unusual because you don't really see that many like
Okay, so I'm
say
gonna give them
guys in
2 more
sailor tops.
points for originality, and it comes to an 8.5.
You gave them an
Oh,
8?
Yeah.
Penalty.
yep.
You are
Eight for the sailor top. 8 for the sailor top.
Yeah,
What's a
People
what's a
the
s-
unisex sailor top.
people say Kogeas, so
Good
Kogeas are school uniforms. I didn't realize that.
what?
sailor
What
uniform.
the hell is this?
Fruit basket. Oh, now you're making me think of the new fruit basket, and it was
Wait, Kogeas it doesn't
was
is
not a
that
good
school
thing.
uniforms? That doesn't look like school
It
uniforms.
does have school uniform. This one.
Oh god. Oh
Oh,
god.
Lelouch's one is that damn Gakuran. Okay, I'm not really sure about the double-breasted jacket look. Like it looks more like a tailored trench coat.
Listen,
The
Yeah.
Gakuran, yeah,
all I'm saying is really dig in black
Yeah.
and no ties.
black and gold is a standout. Yes.
No ties.
The,
That's
the
what I'm
boys one is quite nice. The girls, I'm not so sure about. Yeah.
why?
And because once again, it's not like the way it's so tight around their breast and their body. It's not realistic. I'm like, I want it to be a bit thicker and and you're just like, it doesn't
I
click with me.
mean, granted, blazers aren't supposed to be super thick like a natural. But at the same time, this is a lesson for all of you guys who want to draw like webtoons or like comics with the school uniforms. Please do not vacuum form things like blazer jackets around the body,
Yeah,
especially in girls. Don't do a Doki Doki Literature Club. Okay? That's
exactly.
what I'm talking about. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, Doki Doki Literature Club.
And don't do the skirts. They look super duper short, and you're like, who in their right mind would design a uniform like this and not get sued?
I mean, it's fan service. It's Japan.
What did you give this again? A 2? A 5?
It depends. For the girls, I would give a 4, and for the guys, a 9, because it's supposed to be a rich school, I guess. So it kind of makes sense, and it's fun. It's a fun uniform.
Writes comic about unusually poor character. He's very into rich schools. I should have known. I should have known you were a traitor.
Yeah, but Marvin, you said that you were a bit concerned. Like, is this weird? Because I mean, is this like realistic with the UK or whatever
Yeah.
it is? Yeah. Did you not attend a school with uniforms back then, or
What?
did you not
in
attend a school with
France.
uniforms? Oh, in France, yeah.
Yeah, in France, we've got no uniforms at all.
Yeah,
It
they
doesn't
don't wear
matter what kind of
uniform.
school you attend, right?
Well,
Like,
I've never really heard of that. Like, I've attended a private school, but there was no uniform, and maybe there are some schools with uniform, but they're very, very rare.
Yeah.
So I was feeling that maybe what I thought about the UK was something I saw in several movies, and I thought it was like a generality, and maybe I was wrong, but
Well, you're
apparently
right.
not. So
You're perfectly
yeah.
right. When you get to a certain year group, you're allowed to not wear uniforms, but until then, you're pretty much wearing uniforms.
But that's what I did for the university part. They're
Yeah.
not wearing
yeah,
uniforms.
yeah.
because
In
it's
university, totally
Yeah.
no uniforms. Like,
Yeah.
in some schools in the UK, if it's a sixth form college, which is pre-university, if it's not private, you get to not wear uniform. But up until like about year 11 or the 11th year of school, then yes, you have to still be wearing uniform in most places. I don't know
Yeah.
about public schools like the
Yeah, you do.
comprehensive.
Most comprehensive
Yeah.
schools have uniforms. Kind of great because
I went to school in the UK actually for like from year 10 to year 13. So
Okay.
I actually had to, for the last 2 years I actually had to wear business dress rather than uniform.
Really?
Yep. I went. I mean, I did. I mean,
Party
I was
season.
also. I was also like Haruhi, so I was a poor scholar, so you know.
You were living the
Yeah.
dream.
I was pretty much living the dream, but unfortunately, no, like vases to break and no guys like
There
ensnare
was no
me.
harem around you, like that popped up out of
No,
nowhere,
Because
no, no, no.
saying like, "Yoshimasen."
there was no unusual university student wearing a monocle. Why is he okay? I left this
Oh,
question out because like couldn't
okay.
be. I wanted like ask this question and then go and watch and go and read manga. So I'm just gonna make it clear. Why is he wearing
Okay.
a
Yeah,
monocle? Why?
I'm not proud of this.
monocle.
Yeah, one of her characters wears a monocle. I forgot
Oh
his
The
wow.
name, but he's
Louis,
rich.
Louis.
Lewis. He's rich and he's everything he wants to be.
Because at the beginning I wanted him to be just like the guy that wears improbable clothes and like no one knows why. And so I started with this monocle and it was supposed to stay like just for the first chapter and then
Mhm.
he would dress differently. But people seemed to really dig the monocle and I was like, I don't want to take it away from them. And that was not a very it's not that it was a bad decision, but I didn't think about it. So
Should have
maybe I
known.
shouldn't have, but
I
it's
should
just
have known.
it's not really important. So I kept the monocle.
I should have known
I
he
And
get.
would do
I
something
guess
like
you
that.
can always. I guess you can always like keep changing out the rest of his outfits.
yeah, that's what I do. But like the monocle stayed, and it wasn't supposed to. But it's just a detail, so it's really
Happy little accident, I guess. Like some
yeah.
of these things are very like. I mean, they're kind of the complex word serendipitous or something like that. Yeah, you don't
Serendipity.
expect it to be a hit. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was the beginning. I was like when I was saying that the beginning of my story is very clumsy, and that's the kind of clumsy decisions I made back then that I try not to make anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. You see the awkward moment about not having a summary right now is that I kind of want to ask questions, but I'm really worried that they were already covered early in the show, so I'm just kind of gonna like make sure I listen back later and kick myself in the head for my alarm not working on
But
me.
you can still ask them, and we say, like, ah, covered that. Too
Yeah, I
bad.
mean, I see now I've kind of lost them at the moment. Ah.
That's
Well,
why.
it's because you're not as organized as Nen.
Yeah, see, that's really interesting though. Like because in the past, I mean, it kind of comes and goes. Like we take turns being that. So and I mean, but when we have been away for a month as well. So I mean, we would have done the show earlier. But it's all
God
right. I mean,
bless
I think
America. But yeah,
yeah, God bless America.
Kaz is
I
right.
mean,
Kaz is right though.
what
I'm
they,
not usually this
yep. I mean, so it's like so it's like okay, let me just like have cut myself some slack and then, oh shit, I can't.
way. What
I
are
mean, I mean, you do a lot of organizing already as well for like some of the rest of your jobs and stuff. Sometimes it's just you can't you drop a couple of bolts here and there.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
Continue to compliment me, please. Thank you. I am amazing. Only I
Who's the
can prevent
goodest boy?
force.
Who's the goodest boy?
Okay,
Jay?
that's just getting condescending. I am.
Patronizing, yes, yes,
Only
I actually do.
only I can prevent forest fires. Anyway,
I think that might be it, right?
yeah,
I
that's
don't know,
it.
is it?
I've gotten through all the stuff I got. Then God, thank you, Moso. Thank you. All right, let's see. I think that's it. Marvin, how do you feel? Do you want to say anything before I go to the outro?
Thanks for having me. It was fun. And I
Yeah.
hope it was fun for those who are watching.
I found out the truth. The truth behind the monocle. I did it for you, dear viewer. You.
Don't spread the word.
Yeah, but thanks for creating such a lovely comic, and yeah, we look forward to more. I mean,
Thanks for reading
like,
it.
yeah, my only regret is that updates once a month, but like what I mean,
It's my
life is
regret
life.
as well. Yeah.
but the fact that it's so compelling and keeps me coming back is pretty damn good. So
It's a good sign.
Very good.
yeah.
Okay. What's the outro again? Oh yeah, I remember. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Kaz, for showing up and doing your thing. I love it. Thank you, Marvin, for being here and just being Marvin-y as all hell. Thank you, everyone, for watching it. This is episode 35. The VOD will be available on YouTube. For anyone who's looking on Twitch and all that stuff, consider following us on Twitter at Webcomics Hub or Webcomics Hub or WC Hubcast. Follow me on Twitter at Earthbound_M. Follow Kaz on Twitter at Kazastrophe. Follow Marvin on Twitter at W_Marvin_W because, you know, life just has to be difficult, right, Marvin?
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, and also, like, you know, special thanks to our patrons who have been supporting us, like, you know, and throwing a little bit every.
And thank you so much, Nick the Halfling. Thank you so much, Print Plum. Thank you so much, Ayashi. Thank you so much. I forgot some people's names. I'm very sorry, but I do love you all. And it's like 3 a.m, so cut me some slack.
Do we have code for Moso, by the way, around?
No, we do. I don't have code. Actually, there is code for Moso. It should work.
Yeah, because most of being here on the stream supporting us and stuff, you know, we should. And in these unprecedented times, if you would love some very comforting, you know, 2D, waifus or husbands to grace your walls, you know, so you can sleep better at night, you know, can do your work better.
Yeah.
You know, Moso Box is the place to get them. So there's a whole wide range of stuff, and we have some webcomic creator merch on there as well.
There it is. Yeah.
So,
some webcomic creator merch. Use the code WC Hub to get $5 off $50 and up purchase. It's pretty good. If you want to support us directly, go.
And it also supports Moso too, you know, in times like these.
It does. If you want to support us directly, go to our Patreon. Otherwise, I've been Nen. She's been Kaz.
And I've been Marvin.
Thank you, Marvin.
Oh yes, she joined in the greetings. usually people don't know how to, like, you know, join in. So yeah,
that's cool. I'm out. We're out. Join the Discord if you want. Sometimes I'm on there and I rant about video games and terrorism.
That sounds great.
You get to talk to a bunch of, like, different webcomic creators too, like Marvin. I think that's where I, like, you know, first, like, you know, briefly chatted with them. So
I think I'm gonna head to bed and try to sleep, but I drank a bit too much coffee, so I'm not sure I'm gonna manage that. But I try.
Okay, yeah, everyone, stay well and stay safe. Stay home if you can. If you can't because you're an essential worker, thank you so much, and please stay well.
Don't drink bleach. Don't drink bleach. Don't
that
drink
too. That
bleach.
too.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.